everybody, Sam Sports Shop here, and today we got interesting video, but this is for all you Mets fans out here. We got my 2022, it's going so fast, MLB Mets free agency predictions. These are players that are returning. So they have had a couple players elect free agents. There's Michael Conforto, Noah Syndergaard, Dellin Betances, Marcus Stroman, Aaron Loup, Javier Baez, Brad Hand, Rich Hill, Jeurys Familia, Heath Hembree, Kevin Pillar, and Jonathan Villar. I have a good percentage of them re-signing, so I'm going to tell you what my prediction is for what they sign and how much and how long and etc. The guys I have not coming back are Heath Hembree, Jeurys Familia, Rich Hill, Brad Hand. They're all pitchers. Hembree's not very good. Familia's not very good either. And Hill and Hand are just old, but they were solid with the Mets. I don't think they're going to risk bringing them back, though. They're just too much work. First up, Michael Conforto. I think, and I like Michael Conforto after a dreadful year. I think we've seen what he can do, and I think he has potential to have a good year. 30 home runs, maybe, if he plays well enough. I think that if he plays full year without getting hurt, plays the Michael Conforto that we all, saw when we got hyped up when he was drafted, 32 home runs, 90 RBIs, about like 275 batting average, like a 905 OPS. That's what I expect. That's what I'm hoping. What I expect is like 29 home runs, not like 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, 250 batting average, like an 850 OPS. That's like an average Conforto year. I have him at 5 years, $35 million, and I don't think he's going to the Rays, and he even said he wants to come back, and I would take the risk. I would say, and even if he struggles, I would think that we could trade him for some more valuable pieces, and he's a good trade target because he's got a lot of value still. Next up, Noah Syndergaard. Love Noah Syndergaard, and I think, this is not biased just because I like him, I think he's going to sign a 2-year, $20 million deal. I think his 2020 salary was $9.7 million, so pretty solid to get $20 million. I think pretty realistic for him. By the way, I also have Dellin Betances not coming back. I'm okay with that. And Marcus Stroman, 3 years, $50 million. That is a big, fat signing for Stroman. Signed an $18 million 1-year contract last year. And 3 years, $50 million. I think that would make him happy, and I think giving him a little bit more after the season he had, I think in this short amount of time we saw him, he was nasty. Even in 2020, he was nasty. So I think it's worth the risk. Give him a little bit more, and it'll pay off. And I got Aaron Loup, 1 year, $4 million. I think it'd be a good idea because he was arguably the best reliever in baseball this year. And just look at his stats. It's like a glitch in a video game. It's like it's not fair. Okay, he was just pitching at another level. Him and Drew Smith were really good. Drew Smith was lights out, and I definitely think they should bring both those guys back. Drew Smith still's, I think, 2 years left on his contract. Definitely bring Drew Smith back. A lot of people do not talk about how good Drew Smith is, and him and Aaron Loup are 2 really underrated relief pitchers in the Mets organization that I'm hoping they will bring back. Well, Smith is, I just talked about it, but I think signing Loup to a $4 million deal and a 1-year deal will make him pretty happy. And even if I don't think he's going to have as good of a year. I think he's going to hover around the 2.5 ERA, maybe like 2 ERA. Even then, it's still going to be worth the $4 million. Next, we have Javier Baez. I have him 7 years, $150 million. I did my research on this one because I didn't want to make it laughably bad. So I think 7 years because he's 28, so he'll be 35 at the end of this. And then $150 million. That's pretty much Javi Baez. And he was really good for the Mets, and that showed that when Lindor didn't really play as well as we were hoping, he stepped up real big. And Lindor had a decent end of a season, but like Gary Cohen said, a lot of Mets stars that come to the Mets generally struggled in their first year. But that was obviously not the case for Javier Baez. I have Kevin Pillar signing a 2-year, $10 million deal. And I think Pillar, generally not the guy that gets paid $10 million, but I think he had a really good year. And he showed that he can still do it. And I think, respect to him, good player. And I think, it's a gamble with Pillar. 2 years, 10 mil, $5 million a season, which is a little bit high. But I think that just seeing what his 2020 was like, it was fine. But having the year that he had and being on this team, I think made him a little bit more unrecognizable. But if he was on like the Yankees, he would have been more recognized. So I think bite the bullet, go. I'm not, because he's not going to accept anything lower, and he even said he enjoyed it, and he said he would like to come back. And then last is Jonathan Villar, unreal year. I have him 3 years, 10 mil, because like 4 mil seasons, so that rounds out to like 12. But last year he was good defensively, nasty at the plate. But you know what? I think that, if Correa ends up coming, which he possibly will, I doubt it, because then we would have 3. That's right, 3 star shortstops. Then VR would kind of be at a place like same with Jeff McNeil. I don't think Jeff McNeil is going to come back, and I think he's going to move on from the Mets. And personally, I love Jeff McNeil. It's just he came up a little bit too late. Great player. He's really underrated, but I kind of think that he's just not as good as he was, because if he came up as, in his 20s, like, say if he came up at 25, would have had a longer and better career, but came up at 29. I feel bad for those guys that come up later and just have short careers, but solid ones. Jeff, we love you, but, I would be happy. I want him to come back. I don't think it's going to happen. So, these are my predictions. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree, if you disagree. I would say these are what I think will happen, but these are kind of hopes and predictions, but I think I'm pretty sure all these guys are going to re-sign, except I'm not sure about Pillar and VR. Other than that, I'm pretty sure these guys will. Aaron Loup, I think that Conforto's, it's going to be weird to see him in another jersey, and I don't think he's going to leave, because he's been here forever. Syndergaard's not going anywhere. Stroman's not going anywhere. Loup, he might. Baez, just Pillar and VR are the ones that are kind of getting me worried. So, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.